Things are still going up on the stock market right now. Is there going to be a big rise in the price of Bitcoin in the next 48 hours? In this movie, I'll tell you all what I really think. Now, we know that Bitcoin is going through a bit of a rejection right now. So, of course, we got this beautiful move to the top, which we saw coming. We went right up to this 12-hour level on my monitor. I saw a few movies in the past that showed what I thought would happen here at the bottom. We got there though with this beautiful move to the top. And right now you can see that we had a small correction to the lower, to be honest. At the moment, I'm not that interested in what's going on with the Bitcoin price. Right now, the biggest thing I want is for this trend line to be broken. About 160 days have passed since the halves, and we are now back in 2016 and again in 2020. We saw the exact start of the Bitcoin bull market at that time. So what usually happens is a halving and a period of sideways movement, which is exactly what we're seeing now. We got this halving back in April of this year. Also, you get about 160 days of sideways activity in general. We have that now. It's pretty much at that level. I also think that this is, or very soon will be, the time for Bitcoin to have a big rally to the upside and start the second part of its bull run. This is where you can see that things are going down though. This is the one I'm looking at now. In this case, it might even be interesting to do a breakout long. I'm not sure if I'll take a long position or not, but this does look very juicy. And based on how the price of Bitcoin moves at this point, I will definitely decide whether to go long or not. But I think I'm still very much leaning toward joining one right now. Even more so if we get to this level very quickly. Once more 160 days have passed since the halves. From a statistical point of view, that's when the price of Bitcoin tends to rise significantly. The stock market is also having a nice move to the upside. We also had some trouble in the Middle East, which I can't go into too much detail about for fear of losing my subscription fees, but you all know about it. This is the main reason why I think the price of Bitcoin is going down. That's why the next 48 hours are so important. Right now we're watching the stock market to see if we can push it up. If we start to push up against this trend line over here, I think it will break with a lot of force. And a big mover to the upside, and this bull run to the upside will continue here. In general, I told you guys in the last movie that a bull run goes through different stages. And we can see that very clearly in this bull run in 2020 and 2021. That's the first stage right here. That was one, that was two, that was the second stage. That is, in the first step, you move it toward the fall high. Now comes the really scary part, the second step. Also, Elon Musk became interested in Bitcoin and began to happily support Bitcoin, Dogecoin, and other cryptocurrencies. This was the last step. That's why all the newbies buy Bitcoin in the third stage. That's why Elon Musk began to support Bitcoin. That's when all the jerks come into the market. You could say that this is stage one right now based on what I think. This is the second stage, but this is only one step in what I'm really thinking about. In general, going to all-time high is just the beginning. After that, you get 1, 2, or even 3 rounds. I don't think the Bitcoin price will go down any further at this point. I am sure that this Bitcoin bull cycle will go through another big stage. Again, it's most likely going to begin soon. Again, I think Bitcoin will have gone up in the next 48 hours, which is great in the stock market. This is going up. In general, we also keep an eye on the stock market. I think we'll start pushing here toward this level. I'll be happy if we break this trend line that I drew here earlier. The Bitcoin price is something I'm going to start paying a lot more attention to, because after that, Bitcoin's potential would be off the charts. Of course, we talked about TA, but we also had to talk about politics around the world, because the vice president of Argentina talked to the president of El Salvador about their Bitcoin earthquake bonds. Indeed, you can see that they did talk about Bitcoin right there. In this case, they were interested in the earthquake bonds. This is where you can watch with subtitles. In this case, Argentina is interested in Bitcoin right now. Of course, you all know that Argentina has a new president who has said some nice things about Bitcoin. He didn't seem like a very strict Bitcoin maximalist though. He liked Bitcoin in a general way. It's interesting that the 5 presidents here got together with Diosopano Jr. to talk about Bitcoin. That's some really cool stuff. Argentina might be able to buy Bitcoin too. Argentina is part of the G20 and has a very large economy. Now the EMF is also telling El Salvador that they should limit how much Bitcoin they use while they're scared. Yes, I agree too. It's because the EMF is so afraid of Bitcoin that they're telling El Salvador not to tell everyone about Bitcoin. But I don't think the EIMF has that much power. I feel like El Salvador is getting more and more free here. And it looks like El Salvador will be the first country to use Bitcoin. Other countries like Argentina right now are also becoming interested. Guys, we also need to be aware that Trump is in favor of Bitcoin. This is about Argentina, which has the world's largest economy. But the US still has the world's largest economy, holds the world's main currency, and has a president who supports Bitcoin. In that case, what does this really mean if Trump wins? Anyway, I believe this bull run will be completely crazy. I believe this will drive the next Bitcoin bull run even more, just like Elon Musk did during the last one, but he still needs to win. There are some things that make me doubt that Trump will win. As of right now, I have no idea what the numbers say. We'll have to wait and see, but if he wins, the Bitcoin price will go through the roof. I think we could easily reach 200,000 USD at that point. That's still pretty close to a 4x from this level, but he still has to win. And the Bitcoin camps will be set up. The Bitcoin store for strategic purposes will be set up. Then David Bailey says that one Bitcoin will be worth $1 million. That might not happen. I mean, I really want to, but I don't think Trump alone will be able to change Bitcoin that much. He does, however, still have a lot of people who kind of have to agree with him. There are also many people who will likely tell him, hey, we still have the global reserve currency, don't push Bitcoin too hard. That being said, I do believe that if we have a president who supports Bitcoin, that's going to be really big for Bitcoin. As a final note, I'd like to bring up a new HBO documentary in which Satoshi Nakamoto is said to be revealed. However, I personally believe this is just an advertising trick meant to get people excited about the documentary. There aren't many people who really know about Satoshi, and I don't think that the people who make documentaries here at HBO really understand him either. I think this is just a way to get people to watch the show. Don't believe it, that's just my opinion. They found out who Satoshi really is. But that's it for now. I hope you liked the video. If you did, please like and subscribe. See you in my next video.